used to believe in the American dream. School choice broadly is the ability for parents to choose their school for the young person. I've often said that I'm not against school choice, I'm not against charter schools, but I think my reservation is in this context of no excuses charter schools, the type of schools that have more of a rigid discipline code. I think no excuses charter schools in the context of this country are trying to address academics, right? The so-called achievement gap, the so-called opportunity gap, that I think more schools are articulating that all the young person needs to do is make good grades in math, go to college, and sort of become this sort of productive citizen in this country. I was looking at the notion or the construct of success in a no excuses charter school, and I was interested in the implications of how young people define success and how teachers define success and how even family members define success in this particular context. I gave 10 young people in the school cameras, and I just said, I want you to take pictures of what you think success looks like. What is really powerful about how the young people define success is very different, and then how the school is defining success for them. So, for example, a large portion of the pictures were taken of family members, of traditions, holiday traditions. One young lady I recall, and she was actually identified as ideal by her teachers. She took pictures of her mother and her father, and she said, you know, love, my father's love for my mother is success for me. The ability for him to love my mother for 15 years. My brothers and sister are as a result of their love. Family was not defined as success in this particular school. In this particular school, I defined success specifically and explicitly about getting to college and essentially getting a degree. And, you know, I think young people read between the lines, it's like getting this degree and kind of leaving your community and then sort of starting that process over again. But when you ask these young people what success is, there's a mismatch of what the school is saying and then what the young people are saying. I asked the teachers specifically, who do you think would be ideal and who do you think are at risk in this school? A young person who they thought were ideal are the young people who are completely obedient, completely compliant, who doesn't ask any questions, or who sits there and follows all instructions. But the young person who they thought were at risk, for example, to use sort of the quotes from teachers, didn't follow the school's culture. So the young people who are the most innovative, the most creative, these young people were actually seen as the most at risk. But you didn't have that opportunity to express yourself at this school. You didn't have the opportunity to show yourself as being an innovator, a disruptor, who a lot of researchers and scholars would say are actually the next wave of leaders. That school did not prize that characteristic. I think No Excuses Charter Schools tries to tackle the achievement gap by providing young people with more opportunities. Again, the idea is that if we give young people an opportunity and surround them with teachers who are credentialed and have the skills and the necessary taxonomies to teach young people, then that is how we're going to position them to be quote-unquote scholars in the school and then more engaged citizens. And so that's what I think No Excuses Charter Schools are thinking. But again, because of evidence in my dissertation, because of this pedagogy of poverty, you never have true liberation, right? You never have young people who are feeling like they're engaged citizens. There's no opportunity for young persons to give their feedback. There's no opportunity for parents and caregivers to sort of give their feedback on what they believe should be for the young persons. So I think we really need to reevaluate these spaces before we continue to fund and scale these spaces.